It wasn't just commemorating the centenary, although that's really important. It's about educating future generations, I think. It's really important that people understand what happened, why it's so important, and why, as British Asians, we need to understand the legacy of that. It still affects us today in this country, to know that there was so much violence in our past. And I don't think some people are really aware of that. And this was probably one of the most violent, unethical and unjust events in Indian history. And now, it being this 100th year, it's a perfect time to commemorate it and understand what it means.
And with it being such a dark, tragic, heartbreaking event, why do you believe so many people are simply unaware of what took place in 1919?
I think it's time has just passed, and there's not been a really deliberate effort to talk about the context of it and its gravity. Other things have happened in history, they've taken over, and within this country particularly, there's been an effort to whitewash it in a sense, to place it in isolation, to say, well, that was a really horrible thing that happened, but it was 100 years ago, it wasn't typical of the British Empire at all. But that's not the fact. In fact, it was very typical of colonialism and imperial rule. And the fact that time's gone past, education systems don't want to dwell on these really negative, ugly and violent episodes. And I think that's the reason. It's just we're in the country of the imperial ruler, say it to be as frank as possible, and they don't really want to call attention to those horrible, ugly episodes.
And many people obviously calling for an apology from the British government. Why do you believe the British government is yet to apologise, and do you think they should?
Well, there's no doubt about it. They should apologise, but that apology needs to come alongside education as well. If you just apologise, then the British government will draw a line under it, forget about it, and say, apology's done, that's the end of it. The reality, we need to educate those future generations alongside an apology. Apology should be the beginning of the conversation, not the end. The reason we fought for an apology all this time is because this is probably the most unjust, unethical and bloody incident of innocent people, men, women and children, being massacred that you will see in the empire. There have been other horrible incidents, but they've come about through different circumstances. In this case, it was literally a case of a bloodbath on Baisakhi, on a religious occasion, innocent people slaughtered, gunned down in broad daylight.
And where can people get your books, Saurav?
So the book's out now. It's on Amazon, Waterstones, W.H. Smith, Barnes & Noble. Probably the quickest place to get hold of it would be Amazon, on Kindle and paperback.